Good morning and welcome. Steve Murray here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We're going to talk this morning about Social Security claiming. This is something we do about once every couple of weeks at least, because it is one of our easily most popular topics, and good reason for it. It's a great way to assist current clients. It's a great way to meet new clients, and as we'll talk about, there's a couple of really good kind of prospecting methods that Dave has employed with a number of folks to help them gain new clients using their expertise on Social Security claiming. So let's get rolling here this morning. Again, my name is Steve Murray. There'll be a couple questions that could pop up during the course of the event or a poll. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in and hit send. If a poll pops up, if you would just give me a quick yes or no, I appreciate that. So let's get rolling here this morning. I wanted to talk about a couple things. Make sure that you're all aware of our new production builders. Very simple program. If you're licensed with us less than 180 days, you're doing business with us. We have kind of a fast start program where you can take advantage of marketing reimbursement, really kind of on steroids to a large extent. So take advantage of those if you have not already. I wanted to make sure too you're aware of a couple other things we do to help grow your business. One is marketing reimbursement, which is ongoing, goes on as long as you're appointed with us. And it's simple. When you do business, money goes into your account. When you spend money to help grow your business, and we'll match that spend and kind of double the marketing power of your dollars. The other program, probably more money goes out on the RPM program than any of our programs. It's our referred producer money program. Again, very simple. If you refer someone to IAMS, please let your sales director know. If that person gets appointed, we'll send you a check for $50. If they start doing business, then you're going to start earning an ongoing business for as long as they do business with us. We've been paying RPM to agents for 10, 12, 15 years now, literally on the same agents. So take advantage of that. It will add up to hundreds and thousands of dollars for you. So two great programs to help put some money in your pocket. Many of you have joined us for our two-day producer trainings, Life and Annuity Academies. You can see on the screen before you some of the things that we talk about at those academies. I'm going to leave that up for just a second, and I'm going to throw a poll up. If you have interest in attending, you will answer yes on that poll, and we'll send you out a registration form. Beyond what you see there on the screen, I wanted to also mention to you that we do take care of your expenses. We take care of your travel. We'll take care of your hotel and your meals while you're there with us. We get a lot of questions about, hey, what do we talk about? What's the level of information? And it really is not a, hey, I'm getting into the business and I need some help. It really is, hey, I'm in the business, I've got some things working, I'm looking for additional things to help my business grow. So I kind of call it like a sales and marketing level 2 class. So we'll have some great producers that will be there to give you their thoughts. We'll have some folks that do marketing for a living that we work with closely. We'll introduce a new seminar system that is proprietary at that meeting. So there's a lot of ways to get you in front of folks that we talk about those academies. Let me throw this poll up really quick. And if you have interest in being included, we'll have more this year than we've ever had before. Of course, the pandemic slowed us way down. We did not do any for about 18 months. Last year we did 2. This year we will do 6. And if you have interest in joining us at one of those, I would ask for you to hit yes on this poll. You'll get out a registration. We'll get a registration form out to you. You'll return that, and that'll let us know that you have interest in coming into one of the academies that we'll have this year. We'll have one or 2 in Des Moines. We're probably going to do 2 here in Omaha. We may have another at a southern location yet this year. We'll have some that concentrate on annuity business and life business together. We do have a couple, I think, this year that will just be life focused. Those will be smaller events, probably 10 to 12 producers at those, but they'll be strictly life focused. At the Life and Annuity Academies, of course, we talk about both. So those are something that you might have interest in. Mark yes or no on that poll really quick. If you hit yes, we'll send you out a registration form. If you mark no, then we'll know you have no interest. If you don't mark anything, we'll probably have someone give you a call, as we know that there can be times when we have technical difficulties that do not allow you to mark the poll. So let us know one way or another, and I'm going to close that poll out. Thank you all, by the way, for your quick voting. We had 100% voting done really quickly on that. I appreciate that. Most of our agents now do business on Firelight. The Firelight is the main outlet that carriers use for e-applications on the annuity side, and becoming more popular as well on the life side as well. If you're not doing e-applications, you're probably going to have to jump aboard here fairly quickly. I'm going to guess that within the next couple of years, you probably will not be able to do a paper application, which I don't look forward to that either, but I know that many of our folks that converted during the pandemic to e-apps swear by it now and would not do it any other way. So it really is more convenient, probably more professional way to do business. I do get the question quite a bit, well, what if my client does not have the ability to connect where they're at? They don't have Wi-Fi or what have you, and I can't connect. There are ways which we can walk you through to still do a paper app, upload it into the Firelight, and still get the quick turnaround that our Firelight users are experiencing. So I want to mention that today. If you want to get registered on our instance of it, which you should, that way you don't have to go to a website, different website for every app that you're doing. You can just come to our website and do any apps that you're interested in doing right from there. Just call your sales director, go on our website, and just ask your sales director, hey, how do I register? It's really a 2-minute process. All you do is you put in your email address and request to be registered, and then we have to check and make sure you're licensed with us, and then we will get your registration approved, and you'll have access on our website to all the carriers of their Firelight application. So take advantage of that if you have not already. Many of you already take advantage of our advertising team. We've got a great team over there. They have many things that they've prepared that are just basically with input from producers like yourself to help them build their name and build their image with their clientele in their area that we can just put your name and logo on. There's also, of course, much more in-depth things that we can do for your website, Facebook marketing, things like that can help you grow your business. We try and do everything that we can there pro bono at our expense. There obviously are some cost items which you can use marketing reimbursement for, or you can use credit card, whatever you want to do. But I will say that the feedback I get from everyone is that they do a wonderful job, way exceed expectations constantly. So if that's something you're interested in, give us a call. Many of you have taken advantage too of the Retirement Analyzer. This is a software third-party vendor. The Thomas Gold team has this available, and you can see before you on the screen many of the things that you can do with the Retirement Analyzer to help you in your conversations with your client. It also has some Social Security planning options available as well, so you can help your client with that as well using that Retirement Analyzer software. We make this available to our producers at our expense. So if you're already doing business with IAMS and you would like to get a closer look at that, get with Justin at IAMSinc.com, get with Marcus at IAMSinc.com, and get the link to Retirement Analyzer and try it out. All I ask is that if you try it out, you use it, let's say you get it available for a couple months, and it's not a fit for you, please let us know so that we're not ongoing paying for you. We do a call out occasionally if we see that there isn't a lot of use, but certainly we can miss those. We probably paid 5 or 6 months for someone that was not using it. That's not inexpensive. It's about $80, $90 a month, depending on the level. So if that's something you have interest in, give the boys a call. Let them help you get registered with that. And if you're just getting rolling with us, which I know a few of you on board with us today are, and you'd like to have access to it, let Marcus know that. He'll give you a quick 30-day access so you can try it out and see if it's a good fit for you. Many of you are, I'm just looking at our list, probably about not as many as I thought. Maybe 5 or 6 of you are probably already know that you're on pace or already qualified for our upcoming Top Producer Summit. The good news is that means you are qualified at about the halfway point, because we still have about 8.5 months of qualification left. So plenty of time to qualify. It only takes 4.5 million credits. Which means that's a direct correlation to annuity premium. So 4.5 million of annuity premium, you get about 12 or 13 points for every dollar of target life premium. And of course, different various calculations for any business that you do. Remember, this is an IAMS event. Any business that you do with IAMS is going to count towards you and your guest joining us at Kiowa Island. I had the opportunity to go to Kiowa Island some years back. It's a beautiful property. I hope you're able to join us there with your guest. There is certainly, as you can probably guess from the picture before you, there's some nice world-class golf there, but there's a lot of great things to do down there with you and your guests. So you'll be right on the beach, as you can see from the picture. Beautiful location, nice pools, great spot down in South Carolina. We'd love to have you join us here. We're going to go from April 14th to April 18th of 24. Our top 20 will enjoy another few days right in Charleston at a beautiful hotel called the Charleston Place, which I've also had the good fortune to stay at here recently as well. They're both great locations. We'd love to have you join us. So now we're going to hear from the coach. I didn't do much of an intro of Dave early on because I want to make sure that everyone got the opportunity to hear the great things about Dave. So Dave's been in the business since 1981. He has done about 560, 570 public seminars now. He's done work on the radio, whether it's like an aftermarket report that's a 5 or 7 minute deal to a full live hour show. It's what we're doing right now, which is a full hour recorded show. So he's about 30 plus years of experience on the radio. Last 12 or 13 years, well, it's probably been longer than that now. Probably more like 14 years. He would tell you that his expertise gained around Social Security claiming has been one of the main things that has brought new clients and helped his existing clients. So for about the last 11 years, we've been offering this webinar, one like it, and then also offering a couple ways to meet prospects using that Social Security expertise. So today, what Dave is going to do is go over top 4 or 5 questions that often arise with consumers about Social Security, about Social Security claiming and how best to claim Social Security. So try and educate you a little bit, give you some opportunity for some much more in-depth education, and then go from there to ways to help you grow your business using that expertise as well. So going to be a really good webinar with Dave today. Dave is going to join us in just a moment as he gets his system up and running for us. I also wanted to give you a couple of pieces of information that I know will be helpful for you as you think about what we're doing here with Social Security claiming. So many of you have tuned in today just to learn about Social Security. Many of you may have tuned in. Maybe you've joined us on one of these and want to kind of reignite your level of understanding of Social Security claiming, or maybe you want to learn more about our marketing. Here's what we found on our marketing just recently, and the reason that we have, I think, a higher level of urgency around Social Security claiming is because we have seen really overflow registration levels. So as you all know, the last couple of years, people have maybe not been as anxious to get out and about and to get into crowds as maybe they had been before that. And so we have what I would say is some pent-up desire for people to get out and to learn about Social Security claiming in the kind of educational formats that are primarily offered around Social Security claiming. So that's great, really good news. What is certainly added to that, as you all watch the news just like we do, certainly added to that is that there is also so much information in the political levels, whether you're talking, I feel like it started a little bit with the State of the Union address from Biden, and it's just gotten heated up since then. And of course, economic pressures, I think, have led many to understand that there probably has to be some changes around Social Security. The questions are, what are those changes going to be, and how is that going to affect me? And so what's happening right now is whether we're doing advertising via mail or doing advertising via Facebook, we're seeing people flock to those seminars. And so, for instance, we've had registration levels going back to about a month ago was kind of when we first really started noticing the uptick. We were doing them last year towards November, maybe even October, but I think there was still some pandemic issues that were keeping people away from those. Still, we were seeing good registration numbers there, maybe pre-pandemic levels of registration numbers, but starting in late January and early February, the numbers have just been through the roof. So Dave will talk about the opportunity to learn some coaching and to put a seminar in place for $2,950. And what that would include would be the seminar itself, the coaching on seminars, coaching on Social Security claiming, the step-by-step how-to of getting around the corner on the best opportunities to help your clients regarding Social Security claiming, and to have really productive seminars regarding Social Security claiming. And so what we do with those is we guarantee 35 registrants for $2,950 for 2 nights of seminars, which would usually mean that if you get 35 registered, you're probably, depending on your level of follow-up and how good you are at that, you're probably going to get probably 15 to 25 people in the room over 2 days, which is very manageable and very doable. But what we've been seeing is like 65 and 70 and 75. We had one Facebook registration campaign that resulted in almost 100 registrations. I mean, you can't plan a room size right now, frankly, for most Social Security registrations that the numbers that we're seeing right now. So I would urge you all to take a closer look at that if that's the way you want to grow your business. And I would add to that, I mean, the team here at IAMS is certainly interested in helping you find ways to get in front of more people right now and to grow your business. We have seen numbers that are quite high in terms of conversion to appointments as well. So, let's say that conservatively you do end up with 50 registrants, you end up with 25 to 30 people over 2 nights, and now you're getting appointments each night of 7 to 10 appointments, and now you've got so let's say 12 to 14 or so folks lined up for appointments, and the conversion on those appointments has been greater than ever before as well. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. Like I said, I do believe there's some people with some pent-up need to get some assistance, not just with their Social Security claiming, but also with their retirement planning right now. And so our guys and gals have been able to help obviously with that and convert to sales. So it really is a great time to be in this business. And so as I began to say, the team here at IAMS is interested in helping you. So if this is if that's a method that you want to employ, or let's say we talk a little bit about radio here today as well, if that's a method that you want to employ, I would encourage you to call your sales director and talk about your level of commitment, and let's see if we can match your level of commitment or exceed your level of commitment and get you in front of more people, and maybe even have us co-op some of those expenses associated with that. So keep that in mind. Dave has just joined us and looks like he's having just a little. Hey, good. I know you had a little trouble.
I'm sorry, just got out of that appointment. My bad.
No.
But I'm producing. I'm a producer.
Of course you are. Well, I've been talking to the folks a little bit about some of the numbers that we're seeing right now with registrations being highly inflated over what we'd come to expect even pre-pandemic. And I offered a little bit of financial assistance to those that may have a commitment that want to do that. So let's talk a little bit now. I've given them your background, and we've kind of talked through the basics of what we're going to go through today. So now let's talk a little bit about Social Security claiming with Coach Dave Pemper.
You bet. Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. Just got out of an appointment and did a little business, so that's always helpful. And it was drive through Social Security because it came from a Social Security workshop, so I was pretty happy about that. If you don't know Social Security and you're working that pre-retired or just retired crowd, you may want to ask yourself why. Why don't I have a real background on that Social Security claiming, that sleeve of retirement planning? This is going to be truly from here. It's about a 25-minute webinar, so we're going to be out of here at about 10 till or so, or maybe even quarter till. So it's not a long webinar, but just kind of hang on, ask any questions, type them in. I'll be more than happy to answer those here at the end. So it says most retirees get little advisor help on Social Security. And this is from Sarah O'Brien from CNBC. She says the majority of older Americans get no professional advice, none, nada, zero, about a key part of retirement planning, Social Security claiming, even if they work with a financial advisor. Wow, pretty amazing. And that doesn't make a difference if it's Edward Jones, Morgan Stanley, UBS, Goldman Sachs, Northwestern Mutual. Yeah, there's only about 1 out of every 25 advisors really understand Social Security, including bankers, lawyers, and CPAs. Here's a test only 1 in 300 seniors could ace. So I want you to take this test with me and see how you do. Really. So take it with me. Here we go. First question. To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim benefits? To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim benefits? Right? So what is the answer? The correct answer is not full retirement age. It is age 70. That's when you get the biggest check. Not biggest lifetime money stream of income, but biggest check. What's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? What's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? Answer, 60. At a 28.5% discount, you only get 71.5% of your money at age 60, but you can take it earlier. Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Yay or nay? Well, the answer is yes, you can. So the spouse has to take for you to take a spousal benefit. That is true. Question 4, can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? It's a good question. Can divorced spouses receive a spousal benefit? Yes or no? Yeah, you can, if 4 stipulations are met. So if you can name 2 of the 4 stipulations, I'm going to give this answer to you. If you guessed yes or answered yes, what are the 2 of 4 things that have to line up to get to so you can act as if that X, you're still married to them? So here's what the answers are. Ready? Answers are: your marriage has lasted or did last 10 consecutive years. You're currently unmarried. Your ex is at least 62. Divorce was 2 years ago or longer. If all those things line up, you can take your spouse X in the eyes of Social Security as you're married to them. And the reason that's important, because married couples, they do get a lot more options. Now, not every time is it a better option, but you get more options, which is important. Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? What do you think? What do you think the answer is there? Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? And the answer is, yeah, you are. And that's if those stipulations are met. I'm going to give that to you already because we know that you know them, because I just went through the 4 of them. Yeah. So how did you do on that quiz? So interestingly enough, most people that take that quiz don't do very well. And those aren't complicated questions, but they're questions that don't come up all the time. I mean, I answered all of them correct, but I work with Social Security day in and day out. I teach it, I coach it. What happens is, remember this: when people get in that retirement age, pre-retired and just retired, there's 4 besides Social Security. There's 5 pillars of income. Social Security being one, and then wages, pensions, investable assets you can pull in income from, in RMDs, required minimum distributions, which now are age 73 because of Secure Act 2.0 that just got passed at the end of last year of 2022, that are taxable. So not Roth RMDs, but taxable RMDs. So are you eligible? So that's the question. That's the question. Now, how important is Social Security? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's very important for the pre-retiree. 59% or retiree, 59% of retirees count on their Social Security benefit to be their major source of income, more than 401ks, more than pension, more than savings. It's a big deal. Doing this one thing with your Social Security could mean losing $100,000 in retirement. Let me read that again. Doing this one thing with your Social Security could mean losing $100,000 in retirement. This is by Jana Heron from the USA Today. Excerpt, July the 1st of 2019. How much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? Retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime. Why? Because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. Overall, only 4% of retirees took Social Security benefits at the financially optimal age. Is that wild? That's why they need us. They need people like Dave Pimper and people who are coached up on Social Security or understand Social Security to really make a difference in there. A little stroll down memory lane started in 1935 by Franklin Delano Roosevelt for the Social Security Act. First check in 1940. 65 was the only age that you could take it originally. That was the only age that you could take it. Okay. And then in 61, they said you could take it earlier at age 62. And then they went out later, the few years that you could go up to the age of 70. Yeah. COLA started in 75. There's only been 3 years. There hasn't been a cost of living adjustment. 2010, 2011, and 2016. Those are the 3 years there never was a Social Security raise. Been big the last 2 years. Big. 5.9% last year, COLA. 8.7%. Both those are the highest within about 38, 39, 40 years. So it's been really something. Yeah. If you have a question, type them on. Be more than happy to answer that. The Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015 was the last major change where they phased out, file, and suspend coordinating spousal benefits over 6 months and restricted application over 8 years, which ends this year. Okay? Yeah. Social Security, there's a lot of moving parts, 2,700 rules. If you just want to know the basics of Social Security, here it is. There's 3 ages or dates that are important to Social Security claiming. Everything starts at full retirement age. Depending on when you were born, somewhere between 66 and 67 is you get your full benefit. 100% of your benefit are called normal benefit. If you take early as 62, you can, but you get a reduced amount for the rest of your life. You get it now, but it's reduced. If you wait later, like I'm doing, I'm 68 years old. I was 68 on Easter, so I just had my 68th birthday. Yeah, for a couple of years now, I've been delaying my benefit, so it's growing bigger. I don't get it now, but it's going to be bigger when I start it. Kind of a big deal. Social Security can have a huge value. No doubt about it. It can have a huge value if you claim at your right time. Not the right time, not a right time, but if you claim at your right time. Yeah, they just came out with some new numbers. The trust fund did, but there's a decrease of $50+ billion, and that's been the last couple years. Has about 2.8 trillion in the trust fund, but this is going to go down to zero in about 12, 13 years. Probably seen it in the news quite a bit. What happens is that even if it went bankrupt, you're still going to get a benefit of about 80% of the money because it's a pay-as-you-go system through payroll taxes. But the trust fund hasn't been deleted for almost 40 years. It's starting to delete now with all the baby boomers coming into play. They're going to either tax more or raise the caps more, and there probably will be more taxation. So here's some facts. Is it a pay-as-you-go system? Payroll taxes? Yeah. Payroll taxes, same as Federal Insurance Contributions Act. Yeah. The 6.2% that's paid for Social Security by you, 6.2% by your employer, the 1.45% paid by you, 1.45% paid by employer. USA does borrow and issue IOUs. They sell a lot of those bonds, special issue treasury bonds. They say it's a Ponzi scheme, some people, because nothing backs Social Security. No hard asset like a bond or a stock or a silver or there just isn't anything that backs it besides the full faith and credit. But think about what backs currency. Yeah, the U.S. currency, full faith and credit, isn't it? It's not on the gold standard or silver standard anymore. Nope. Oops, sorry about that. All right. You need 40 quarters of coverage to get a Social Security benefit. If you have 39, out of luck. You're out of luck. You don't get any benefit. You can do $1,610. That's your minimum. That once you get that, you get a quarterly credit. The more you make, up to it's $160,200 this year. You don't pay on Social Security above that. Then your Social Security grows. They look at the earnings over your working career. So that's 10 years of work at 4 quarters a year. And what age you take. Longer you wait, closer you get to 70, bigger the benefit. Earlier you take, closer you get to 62, the lesser the benefit. They take your 35 highest inflation adjusted years. So even though back in the 80s, early 80s, you might have made 25,000, maybe 20,000, doesn't sound like much now. Huge back then. Probably maxed out your benefit. Like I said, COLA last year was 5.9, this year 8.7%, highest in 40 years. FRA, lots of acronyms. Full retirement age, you get your full benefit. If you're born in the year 1943 to 1954, 66 is your full benefit. I was born in 55, 66 years and 2 months. So I was born in April the 9th of 1955. So June the 9th, I'm full retirement age. I've had 2 years that I've spent for delayed retirement credits. Then it jumps up 2 months, a year up to 1960. If you're born 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. A newborn born today, age 67. How much is it discounted if you take early? Well, if you take it 62, it's going to be discounted depending on when you're born, somewhere between 25 and 30%. 25 and 30% discount. Big. It's a lot of discount. It's for the rest of your life, too. If you wait longer, yeah. Like myself, I mean, I'm going to get, right at 8% a year. I mean, that's 32%. Now, if you throw inflation on there of 8.7, 8.7% and 5.9. So that's a lot. 8.7 plus 5.9, that's 14.6%. I've grown another 14.6. So if I throw my 32% on there, 32 and 14, I mean, that's 46. My benefit, I mean, when inflation's all figured in, it's going to grow about 50% with inflation in those 4 years. It's a big deal. I had a $3,000 full retirement benefit. It's probably going to be about, I figure it's $4,600 when I take it. Big deal to delay if you can. So let's talk about Social Security spousal benefits. I'm a big believer if you know the individual benefit, the survivor benefit, divorce benefit, and the spousal benefit. If you know those 4 benefits, I'll tell you, about 80% of all the questions that'll be thrown at you. First of all, for a Social Security spousal benefit, do you have to ask for it? Is it done automatically? What do you think? Probably wrong. It's done automatically. It's called the deeming rule. You're going to get the higher of either or. You don't have a choice. PIA stands for primary insurance amount. That's your amount at full retirement age. Dave's PIA is $2,400. Amy's PIA is $1,000. Dave takes his. Amy takes hers. In the married, in the married couple, Amy has a choice. Dave's going to get all of his $2,400, but Amy can either take all of hers, which is $1,000, or half of Dave's, which is $1,200. What's she going to take? She's going to take the $1,200, and it's done automatically. She doesn't have a choice on that. Okay, because it's called the deeming rule. How about survivor? My wife always says nobody gets out of here alive. How true is that? Dave's benefits $2,000, Amy's benefits $1,200. Who normally dies first, the guy or the gal? Guy. 75% of the time. Dave dies, kicks the bucket. Amy has a choice. She can keep her benefit and not take Dave's. She could drop her benefit and take Dave's. She cannot take both her benefit and Dave's. So what's her best outcome here? Drop her benefit, jump up the $800 and take Dave's at $2,000. Pretty cool. And If Dave dies earlier, let's say Dave dies at 60, and they're both 60. Once you're 60 years of age, remember that? Remember you can take a survivor benefit at 70 with that's a 28.5% discount. Yep. But then you could take the widow's benefit and let yours grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, even all the way up to 70. All the delayed retirement credits, and turn yours on without any kind of discounting whatsoever. As long as when you turn it on, you're over full retirement age, you don't have to get any discount. That's a great deal. It works, as you know, also with surviving ex spouses. How about divorced spouses? One of the biggest, largest benefit that's left on the table. Remember those four things that have to happen? Marriage lasted 10 consecutive years or longer. You are currently unmarried. Your ex could be married, but you are currently unmarried. Your ex is at least 62 or older. Divorce was 2 years ago or longer. If that's the case. Yeah. As long as you're single, you can take your ex just as if you've always been married to them. And you can double dip on this. Your ex can take you and you can take your ex. Pretty cool. Coordinating spousal benefits, restricted applications. It's only about there's only about 7 months left now, or 8 months left, so there's just not very much left. You have to be born before January 2nd of 54, and then you can only take it to 70. So that's where the 70 months come in. So basically, you got to be 69 years and 4 months right now. So you're going to have, about 7 months left that you could go on in and take a benefit. But there's still, for a certain person, it could work. But Dave's in this illustration, Dave was born. He's 69 years and 4 months old, and Dave's PIA is 2,400. Amy's is 1,000. Amy has to take hers. She'll take the 1,000. Dave is going to let his grow and get the 8%. But when he restricts his application because he's old enough, he's born before January 2nd of 54, he can go in and up to the age of 70, he can take half of Amy's $1,000 benefit for a spousal benefit. Pretty cool. So actually, he could take it about $3,500 he could get. But not many people can do that now. When I got in this business, I asked my CPA, lawyer, banker who they referred business to. And they said they didn't refer it to anyone except Social Security Administration. I said, well, when people have questions and they need advice, what do you do? Well, we call Social Security claiming. I thought they'd call it individual, but they didn't. They let them call the Social Security Government, Association. Interesting thing is, Social Security Administration can't give advice. They can give your highest benefit at a certain age, but they cannot give you advice. Look, it comes right from the manual. Number D, provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but don't give advice. Is that wild? Who gives advice? Dave Pimper. Anyone I coach, anyone who really understands Social Security, they can give factual advice. And that's what we do. And we're paid handsomely for it because we uncover all their assets. You know what? Think about the things that we ask that the Social Security Administration cannot. I'm going to ask them, well, what's your asset base look like? I got one right now, NPERS, which is the Nebraska retirement system. She worked for the state of Nebraska for 49 years. She's retiring here next month in May 1. She has $409,000 in her retirement plan, and this was a referral from a lawyer who referred her to me. Going to work with that money, but she wants to know, what do I do? And so what it ended up, I said, well, she's extremely frugal. She has no debt. She lives truly less than $2,000 a month. And I said, let's just go out of your 400,000. You know what? If she works part time for about $600 at a grocery store in her little town. She's done that for a long time. She's a worker, and and at the senior center, they want her to cook now, and she only gets $10 an hour, but that's still money. Yeah, you know what? I said, let's take 5% out of your investments. I mean, at the end, it might be worth a little more, it might be worth a little less. We may go in and just put it. I mean, I'm not in favor of this, but I said we could just go in and put it the whole thing in a fixed annuity at 5.25% for 5 years, and it's not going to grow, but you're not going to lose anything, and then you she's turning 65, and don't touch your Social Security and let it grow until the age of 70. Then she'll turn that on, and it's going to be worth a little over like $3,300 or $3,400, which easily covers her costs. Yeah, I can give her all that information. I'll find out what her assets are, find out what her expenses are, find out what other incomes are. What I want to know what her lifestyle is. I want to know, what she wants to do, what she's trying to do with this money. Social Security can't ask any of that. Not any. They can just give your highest benefit at a certain age. Look at the value you can bring. And so what happens is IAMS, Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and Steve introed this, Steve Murray, the principal owner of IAMS. What happens is that we know how important it is in that pre-retired or just retired, that transitional of going from income from work to income from Social Security. But there's so many other aspects that come in, and we call this bridging. You're bridging Social Security, letting it grow guaranteed until you have to take it. She's going to probably live. Her mom, her dad died in his 80s, and her mom went well into her 80s, late 80s, before she passed. I mean, she may still be living actually, but she thinks she's going to live a long time. And remember, Social Security pays forever. It's a lifetime annuity, lifetime income annuity. So the information we give folks, it's really invaluable. And we do it through three types of ways that you can learn Social Security through IAMS and Dave Pimper as being the coach. First of all, you can do it from a Social Security seminar. I mean, I'm in a real little town. Normally we do 2 nights, but I'm just doing 1 night. But we got 46 signups right now. 46 signups. We're having an amazing amount of people sign up for different ones around the U.S. right now. It's a great way. So we coach you up on Social Security. I do, and there's no cost to you. IAMS pays me to coach you. It's a big deal. Retirement Boss Radio. I just got 3 really good set appointments. In fact, at 11:30 today, I've got a Retirement Boss Radio consultation from this weekend. It's on this one's. I'd rather meet face to face, but this one happens to be on the phone. But we'll see how it goes. And we coach you up there on Social Security at no charge to you, or just $800 for 4 coaching sessions to really learn it a la carte. If you don't want any kind of marketing or don't want that expense, but there's 4 different ways. And having someone that you can go in from, once you coach with myself, you can use me within reason as much as you want to, all the way down the road. As long as you have that association with IAMS, you can go in and use me. So I say consider all your income streams. It's not a standalone income stream. It's the most flexible. I always say it's the worst water cooler talk. Hey, Dave, I took at 62 and you should too. Hey, Dave, I took at 60, 69 or 70 and you should too. No, it's like saying, hey, I love the color violet and you should too. Don't forget about the survivor benefit. That's a big deal. Remember those 5 pillars of income? Wages, pensions, income producing assets, RMDs on traditional and Social Security, how it fits in. The money number is number 3. I mean, that's where you get into the 401ks, the 403bs, the SEP Simples, the IRAs, the Roths, thrift savings plan. Yeah, all uncovered. A lot of different benefits, a lot to consider. Remember those 3 ways. Seminar and radio. If you want to get lead generation, I'm telling you what, they're proven tracks and they've done very, very well. I'd love to talk to you. Or you can just do 4 coaching sessions for $800. Do that a la carte. There's no saying. It says procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Well, you know what? Tomorrow never comes. I have a sign downstairs my wife got me from Okoboji, which is a lake area in Iowa, and it says free beer tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow never comes. Saw something in this webinar that you say, you know what? I should talk a little more about Social Security, see what it could do for my practice. Yeah, mark yes on this. Lisa Marie will give you a call. She has my calendar. I'm talking about a 15, 20-minute phone call. Bam, bam. kind of see what you're doing marketing wise, what you're doing, if you understand Social Security, if you've got a background there or no background at all. But I try to make a complicated subject and make it easier to understand. So if you want that, just mark yes. And Steve, I know we had a couple questions. I saw them come on in, so I'm going to turn it on over to you before we button this thing up. Okay?
Perfect, Dave. Thank you. Good stuff. I think people sensed a little bit of your excitement, or maybe mine, as we got started. We started talking about some of the numbers we're seeing. We have a lot of interest.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's crazy, crazy good. And can
Hey
it go on
Steve,
forever? Yes, sir.
I know I'm not supposed to say this, but our guy down south. So the first night he had 50 people that showed up at his workshop. 50. And you know how many people he's got signed up for this one? 108. He's going
Yes.
to. We'll get another at least half of those. He's going to have another 50. I mean, we guarantee 35 signups, not the people who show up. We're getting some ridiculous numbers. I mean, Jimmy down in Florida, unbelievably, had higher numbers than that. I'm just telling you. I mean, he has so many appointments he can't do another workshop right now. He told me. He has so many
What a
appointments.
problem.
And we talked about it, but I do believe, and you're the one that said it. Just people out of the pandemic and kind of being cooped up, and the bizarre thing, Steve, not nearly as many reps, advisors, agents are doing marketing now as
Yes.
they did before the pandemic. How the heck does that work?
Yeah. I think some folks are slow to get back in, or maybe got discouraged with, what the pandemic, pre-pandemic or post-pandemic numbers have been. Which is, I mean, the good news is it leaves more opportunity for those that are
Well, it
willing
does.
to,
It does.
so that's good.
I just talked with a vendor that has a investment product, but I said, hey, what are guys doing out there? What are they doing for marketing? This guy is just a great guy, but he's been around forever. He says, you know what? He said, everybody's lazy. He said, there's hardly any marketing going on. Because we were just talking about the marketing that I do and some of the appointments that I've had. And
Hmm.
he said, he said, the pandemic made advisors lazy. Well, you know what? That's an opportunity if you're not lazy.
Hmm.
And that's why I think we're seeing such good numbers. And it isn't just the numbers, but then it's the appointments and it's the second appointments and the writing of business. And we went through, I'm not privy, but you were just telling me some of the guys that are coaching are really doing good production numbers right now. And it's a contact sport. You get in front of more people, you got more swings at the ball. You're going to get some more business. I mean, it can be a vicious circle, but it can be a it can be a great circle because there's nothing that cures ills in our business like production. Nothing.
Absolutely correct. And we had a couple people chime in a little bit with not so much questions as comments, but one of the comments here, which I think has got a little bit of a question to it, or maybe he's looking for a little bit of guidance. So many people have done Social Security seminars and maybe had not as good luck converting to business. And I know you struggled with that initially as well,
I
but
did.
perfected that some. And I think you might want to talk about that for a minute, is to how you do a little bit of that conversion, and also I think give the folks some encouragement on it, because I think some folks, if they didn't have the coaching that they needed or didn't have the assistance that they needed, a lot of people ran into that. I think most people probably ran into that inability to convert on the appointment from Social
Yeah.
Security conversation to business.
Yeah, I think the big thing is to find that money. And I call the first appointment, what's the reason of the first appointment? And lots of people say, well, you want to build rapport. And so I say, so if you got the greatest rapport in the world, it stops right there. How much money did you make? Nothing. And then someone will say, well, the most important thing on that first appointment, is you got to make sure that they can tell that you're credible. Okay, if it stops right there, how much money do you make? Nothing. So the most important thing is to go to a second appointment. You keep kicking that can down the road in the sales process, but how do you go to the second appointment? The only way you go there is if you find money and they're willing to go in and let you propose on it And if they like what they see, they'll do business with you. All that has to be wrapped up in that first appointment. You don't go to a second appointment if you don't do that. So when I go through the 5 pillars of income, which are wages, pensions, investable assets you could pull an income from, RMDs on traditional IRAs, and Social Security, that third bullet point, number 3, that's the moneymaker. That's where we're uncovering all. I got one this afternoon. That one came in from Retirement Boss Radio, Steve. That is from a thrift savings plan. She has 920,000, and in my offer on the radio, I say most people who use this technique of financial advising have a million or over it. I say in here, but if you're serious about your retirement, we will work with people who have less. She comes in and she says, I have less than a million. I have about 920,000. Will you still work with this money? Is that great, Steve? I mean, is that good?
It's like that
great? Yeah. And of course, I say, yeah, I will. Yeah. But you know what happens is that you're uncovering. There it was simple because she just comes on in, and she did have questions on Social Security, but her main thing, she had all of her statements, every one of her statements, which she gave me. I mean, now will I do business with her? I mean, I got a 50-50 chance, but you know what? I got a 50-50 chance with about 20 appointments here in the next 2 weeks. Well, I'm liking those odds, and that's what marketing does for you. So what happens is Social Security alone, knowing Social Security inside and out, how much money does that make you? Nothing. Getting in front of qualified prospects, how much does it make you? A lot.
So question number 2 really has to do with and I tried to delve into it, and I think it may have been before you joined us, Dave, a little bit about the cost. So you talked about a little bit about the cost of just Social Security training, and I talked at the get-go a little bit about what seminars cost. I think I caused some confusion. So I'm going to walk through that again really quick, and you correct me where I'm wrong. So right now, for $29.50, you will get a Social Security seminar. You'll get training for the seminar. You'll get a minimum of 35 registrants, which the numbers that we've been talking about. There'll be likely much more than that. You'll get the seminar itself, and then you get A to Z training on how to properly do the seminar. Now that's the first one. Now after that, whenever you do a seminar, to get 35 registrants, it'll be.
Can I stop real quick, Steve, just for a second?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Here's something that I take it for granted, but they get a video of myself giving an actual seminar. Remember when you guys came on in and you professionally videotaped me? The group came in. Well, you know what? I've had people say they're using this, which is great. They're using the same stories I'm doing, the same analogies I'm doing. You don't have to do it like Dave Pimper, but it gives you a feeling of how it is. Second thing is, a lot of people don't have Social Security software and analysis. We give that to them for 3 months free. IAMS and Dave Pimper, we worked a deal with a company that, Zurich. I mean, they're a huge insurance company, and they've got a very good software system on Social Security, but they get that free. And so what happens is also, you get coached up on Social Security. So there is coaching, but there's one-on-one coaching, not with one of the associates, but it's with myself that's coaching you. So I just wanted to throw, there's quite a bit to that package up front. Mm-hmm. It isn't just giving you, hey, here's, you know what it's like the old days? They said, here's your prospect guide. And they gave you a phone book and said, start calling. Well, what? Yeah, I am old. You can get business that way. I mean, you used to be able to. It's illegal now unless you're on the do not call, but you can get business. But it is like pulling teeth. What happens with us? We don't just give you the game plan or the blueprint or the instructions, but you've got a person there to walk you through it. No, and I've used the analogy before. There's no difference. I told you about that one time that we bought a swing set for our little kids. They were like 5 and 3. We're downstairs trying to put it together. I've been through a bottle of wine and I don't know, some Bud Lights, and we could anyway. After several hours, we did it. Think of a person who had put together 100 of those was there helping you. Oh, it'd go up in 30 minutes, 45 minutes. They knew exactly what to do. That's what a coach does for you. And hopefully that's what I can do with seminar marketing or Retirement Boss Radio marketing or seminar education, Social Security education in general.
Yeah, you bet. And additionally, you get it put together right the first time, which is, you can muddle through and do a great job and make money in Social Security seminar business. I mean, many of you have probably tried that and had some success with it, but to be more efficient from the get-go and to increase the number of clients you get from each and every seminar thereafter, that's where the coaching helps. So that's why we don't offer seminars now without coaching alongside of them. So it makes a lot of difference. Let me just double check, Dave, and see if we have any other questions. So yes, if you would like a copy of this presentation, actually what you can do is listen to this presentation over again on our website. It's www.imsync.com. We'll have it out there. This presentation will be out there by later this afternoon, but we did one a couple weeks ago, which is out there right now. Just go to the YouTube, just go to our YouTube channel, which is the YouTube icon up in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that and you will find hundreds of webinars actually, but you'll find if you go back just 5 or 6 webinars back, you'll find the most recent one of these as well. So with that, I think we've answered all the questions. Anything that you want to add, Dave, before we close out today?
I just want to thank everybody for taking time. I mean, time is money in our business. I mean, if you're not working, most people aren't on a salary. That's on this phone call. Most people are on straight commission. So I do appreciate the time. And Steve, hey, just real quick, just tell them about our Vision 2020, our sales, because those are fast. Those are 15, 20 minutes, bam, bam. Tell them a little bit about what we've been doing with those and how they can kind of get on and listen and in 10, 50 minutes at the max, really learn something about sales process.
Well, shoot, you just told them everything, Dave.
But that's what I would say. Those are pretty cool. We have those. Yeah, we have 1 or 2 a week, and I mean they're supposed to be in 20 minutes and they're done. And sometimes we'll have questions that could go longer than that, but they're short, they're sweet, they're to the point, and it's just about getting business.
Subjects. Really good.
We really do. Yeah, we do. So certainly try to go in and listen to some of those. I think it'd be time well spent.
Yeah, some of those are hanging on the YouTube channel. If you want to listen to them live, I think we've got one this week, Thursday. I'm trying to remember what it is, but the subject matters are like required minimum distributions or non-hardship withdrawals from 401ks and 457s, how they do that, closing techniques, really designed to just give you 20 minutes of great information that you can use to grow your business. And, we always offer the chance to speak more to Dave if you want to, but some of those are just real quick, easy, hey, everything you need to know all in 20 minutes that can help you grow your business. So that's why we like them. And we've been doing those for probably about a year now. And the portfolio of presentations is growing all the time. So tune into those. You'll see an email on those from time to time, and just look for 2020. They always start off with 2020 focus. So take advantage of those. Thank you all for joining us today. It's post-Easter in one of really the best marketplaces that we have ever had to sell the products that we work with most, fixed and fixed indexed annuities, MYGAs, annuities in general. You have to go back a ways, 12, 15, 18 years to find a marketplace as good as what we have right now. And so that's why we encourage you to find ways to get in front of more people, to talk about the safety and conservative approaches we have, because that's what these baby boomers want to hear about right now. They're all 55 and 60 and 65. They want to hear about ways that they can see some growth in their money without putting their money at risk, maybe find a way to get some guaranteed income that they cannot outlive. That's exactly what we talk about. So whatever we can do to help you here at IAMS, that's what we're about. It's 800-255-5055. Give us a call. Most of you will be hearing shortly from Lisa Marie, and she will set up an appointment for you to chat with Dave. And you can talk about Social Security the whole time, or there might be some other things you want to talk about. Dave loves to talk to salespeople about marketing and sales and growing their business. So thank you all for joining us. Thanks for being part of the IAMS family. We love that. If you need anything, have any questions, dial us up, 800-255-5055. Dave, thank you as well. I know you're keeping awfully busy right now, so I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to join us.
You bet. Thank you very much. And thanks, everybody, for taking your time.
Let's have a great day. Thanks, everybody.
Bye now. Bye.